absolutely wrecked fucking tomorrow.
Cool. Fun.
Well, I'm going to be in a few hours, I'm going to be a really old man. So.
Why is that?
My birth miss is at like 1:30 in the morning. That's when I was born. 1:30 in the morning tomorrow. I'll be 27 years old. I know, right? I'm going to be old as shit.
Nobody cares, Devin.
I'm going to be old as shit. So
yeah, you'll be old as shit. Like, yeah.
Is this when everything starts going south, Mike? When you turn 27? Is this when everything quits working? And
no, actually, everything went south when I was 30. So you got that to look
forward to. I got time then. Fuck yeah.
You got time. You've got time.
I'm definitely getting wrecked tomorrow then. That's for sure. I was hoping you'd talk me out of it, but it's on now.
Oh, no. Just go ahead and do your thing.
All right. My day tomorrow was just get done with work by like 8 in the morning and then just start drinking. So,
I mean, day drinking never hurt anybody, right?
No, I mean, I don't do it that often, but I want to do it before everyone wants to go do stuff this weekend. I've got like 15 fucking lunches to go to this weekend for all the like distant people that are like, "Oh, we haven't seen you in ages. You wanna go get lunch?" And I'm like, "I'll take free food."
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So
why would you not?
Exactly, but it's like I don't really want to go out or do anything, but it's free food, so.
Well, here's the thing: is like that. That's better than what my uncle used to do and his family used to do is show up to funerals of people that they didn't know and like pretend that they knew them just to get the free lunch.
Yeah, you've never done that before?
No.
I used to do that to like weddings too. You just walk into like a wedding because there's like one event place, where everyone does. You just walk in and be like, "Oh yeah, I know so and so," and then you get to have cake and shit. It's great. Not a fan of that?
I can't say I am. I mean, like, I get it, and it's not good, but it's okay, and like I get it.
Fair. I'm not going out of my way to do it now, but if somebody's giving me free wedding cake, I mean. But yeah, tomorrow I'm just gonna go to work and then drink and play Minecraft and probably work on that sling a little bit more because I want to fucking get that thing done. So I got to make a nice Gewehr 88 sling. I got to do it. I got to do it right. And then I got to make a nice M95 Mountain Trooper sling. I got to do that now that all the hardware here is for it. I don't have enough for 2, unfortunately. Sorry. There wasn't enough.
So here, but before I get pissed, before I unload on you.
All right.
Just tell me you'll get enough for another fucking mountain sling for regular length M95.
I might be able to because
no. Don't say you might. Just say you will.
Well, the thing is, I could just make you one, but it's not going to look right because there's little fucking metal reinforcement plates that need to go around all the little fucking adjustment holes, and I only have a certain amount of those. That's the thing. So those are kind of hard to find. Or I'd have to make them out of like sheet brass, which I could do, but I'd have to buy some sheet brass.
I'm very disappointed.
I'm not even done with the Gewehr 88 sling yet.
We're not reenacting then. Like I'm gonna make my own unit, like a mountain troop unit, and you're gonna have nothing to do with that.
Okay, that's fine. I'll just be happy to be there.
And we'll sit there. We'll be dressed in the same shit, and we'll be standing apart from each other. And they'll be like, "Well, you guys look the same. Why aren't you together?" Because he's fucking
7,
different.
not Unit 8. It's a different. Yeah, it's a different thing. Yeah.
Get the fuck away. Yeah. Don't even ask me about that shit, you fucking plebe. I'm sorry you paid for this event. Well, this is real drama.
That's right. This is like actual Austro-Hungarian. I'm one of the people that speaks Hungarian, and he's one of the people that speaks German. There's no.
Right.
No ifs, ands about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, it was like when the Germans made the Austrians and the Ottomans fight together, and they fucking hated each other.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, hated
Weird.
each other. Because apparently the Ottomans, like 400 years before World War I, decided to almost burn down Vienna, and they were still salty about it.
Yeah, but like, I mean, at what point do those feuds become?
I know, but like they were just as likely to shoot each other as they were. Who were they fighting at the time? Romanians. So I thought that was funny. I'm like, the Germans are like, no, you guys have to work together so there's not like huge gaps in the lines, and they just hated each other.
So I'm talking to Chris right now, and he's like, yeah, we're gonna do a platoon reaction video to the Outpost movie.
Oh,
that's gonna be interesting.
It is gonna be interesting because, to be fair, after having watched the movie, it's really Hollywooded up, but it's a decent movie. They got a lot right.
They got a lot of like I think we were talking about with Chris on here. They got a lot of like the lingo right, like the talking and like how people talk to each other and all that shit, and just the constant shit giving and like you're fucking worthless, go die in a grease fire, like that kind of thing.
Yep.
And then when it came to it was like they're in a bad situation, but they're still kind of making fun of each other.
Yep.
During it, and it's like, okay, well, that's okay. But I wasn't there. I don't know what happened exactly because I wasn't there. I've read about it and everything, and I've seen the film, obviously, which I don't view as a historical reference. But like,
no, but they got a lot of the like uniforms and stuff right, and they got the fucking fact that the what is it? The Latvians were there.
Yes, he had Latvian FO there.
Yeah, there was a lot of, and they got the A&A stuff done relatively correctly from what I've experienced with the A&A. They're a bunch of fucking shit-eating, worthless human garbage is what the A&A is.
The A&A seems a lot less good than the Iraqi army was.
Yeah, well, the thing about the Iraqi army is they have like dignity and stuff, at least. Like they genuinely want to make their home a better place. All the Afghanis want to do is be left alone.
Right, and I get that.
They're taking whatever side they think they can get the most from until everyone leaves. So the A&A guys are all about like, well, the government's going to give us good shit if we just pretend like we're working for the government. There was like, I remember reading stories where there was like whole units that would sell their uniforms and their equipment just after being like issued it, and they'd turn up to like training a week later with none of their shit because they had sold it all to the Taliban.
Right. Well, yeah.
That's pretty normal.
Yeah, it's for sure. It's
I'm sure that happened with some Iraqis, but not on the
but like it was
scale, so.
Dude, so by the time I got there it was kind of like very easy to tell who was the enemy, but like you'd think that they were in Afghanistan longer, than Iraq.
Yeah.
And you'd think it would have been the same thing, but like they didn't. I don't know. It's just weird.
Well, because unlike Iraq, they went into nothing. Afghanistan had nothing. The Taliban had been there for literally been in control of that country since like the 60s.
Yeah. Well,
they had to build a government, build an army. All right. Do everything from scratch. They went in there with basically no structure.
Yeah.
So you're trying to take a bunch of like illiterate fucking goat farmers and turn them into a government that could run itself and a military.
Right.
And it was damn near impossible. So.
Yeah, and in Iraq, it's like, they at least thought they won the first Gulf War against.
Todd's got it right here. They took over in 1996, but they did so good killing the Russians in the 70s. You're right.
Actually, the 80s.
Yeah, well, 70s started in the 70s, but
79, that's
79, yeah. But for forever, they just had a different name at that point.
Yeah, Todd B, aka 1911 is the fucking best pistol in the world.
Hey, the Llama 1911 is because it's in 32 ACP.
There you go.
The Magnum round. But yeah, they've been around for a long time with the same weapons, and they've been running that country. And we signed a peace treaty with them, and I was livid about that. Livid. God dang.
I'm not gonna get a CMP 1911. I've got a fucking awesome.
It's got an
actual
original.
World War I 1911.
Yeah. Which is better than a CMP one.
Well.
Oh, keep quiet about the llamas Kong that they made for 60 fucking years? Right. They're definitely out there. But yeah, that it's just it was a dumpster fire. All of Afghanistan, beginning to end, was a dumpster fire. To the point where we spend all that money making a government, building their military, all that other good stuff. And now we're just signing a peace treaty with them and leaving, and they're just going to do like what happened in Vietnam. Once the U.S. leaves, they're just going to go through and press the reset button on everything. But whatever.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Like, everybody, like, right when we got on the stream, everybody starts fucking texting me.
I know,
like,
right?
What the fuck?
I'm getting the same thing. People are always like, oh, happy birthday. Thanks. It's tomorrow.
I'm not going to say happy birthday. I'm going to say,
I know, and I don't expect you to.
You know,
I
like,
find it really fucking annoying, too. It's like,
here's the thing. It's like,
I'm trying to drive for work.
As of tomorrow,
yeah,
27 years ago, the world became a much shittier place.
Easily a shittier place,
like
no doubt.
You know, like that's the best thing I'll say to you on your birthday.
Yeah, this is like the 27-year and 9-month anniversary of my parents having sex. Great.
That's not good.
I know. It's really bad.
I mean, that means they banged in like late September, early October.
Yeah, hunting season opener.
Christ.
Yeah.
You know, like
literally in a deer stand is what I was told. Literally.
Yeah, well, that's probably embellished. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, probably, honestly, but yeah.
Yeah, you were conceived in a deer stand. Unlikely.
Well, it was, to be fair, I also hunted in that same deer stand, and it is quite spacious and very roomy. It's not like one of the latter ones. It's like a built one. It's nice. Well, it's probably all rotten and decrepit now, but
I mean, but like to pinpoint the day, like, I mean, come on.
Yeah, fair. No, I'm only 26 until 1:30. And if we want to be specific, 1:30 Mountain Time. So 2:30 here. Then I will be 27. It'll be great. It'll be like being 26, I assume.
You've got like 3 more years, and then your life can go to shit.
Yeah, then everything's gonna fall apart.
Right.
Yeah, everything's gonna fall apart. Apparently.
Right.
Oh well, I'll have to savor it. I got a lot of big plans for these 3 years. I got to make more slings. I think I'm doing that at some side businesses. I'm gonna be making some slings and some belts and shit.
There you go. A little bit of a hustle.
Yeah, since I'm like having a hard time finding all of this like reproduction equipment, especially for like a French World War. By the way, I did find somebody that's willing to make an iron blue uniform. And it's really good, actually. They're really good iron blue. I checked it.
In the U.S.?
No, Ireland. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And they're also making me a Swiss 2640 tunic. So.
Good for you.
And so I was like, well, now I got to make pouches for that. And there isn't any. Because they had different pouches from
there aren't any. Like, so in English, there is not any.
Yeah.
Versus there are not any.
There is not any of them available anywhere on the planet. So
there are not any of them available.
There is not. And so I'm gonna just make some.
Cool.
And the weird leather suspenders. Fucking A, people, simmer the fuck down. My phone's now going off all the fucking time too. So
what the fuck is this? Just not supposed to happen?
I don't know, but so I'm just gonna start making slings and pouches and stuff, and maybe as I get some leather and I start digging all my old leatherworking tools and shit out of stuff, I might just start doing that as some side little hobby work for a shit ton of money. If people want shit made, if you could give me some good pictures.
But like when you start dealing with reenactors, though,
how
God
hard
help
is it to
you.
fuck up a sling? You send me some pictures and give me some dimensions, and I'm making it.
God help you.
I know, right? Well, you know what?
God help you.
The money's up front, and you're dealing with it. I'm gonna build it.
Oh no, it's not up front.
Me.
It's up front, sure, but like it can get taken away after you've sent the product out. So just throwing that out there.
Well, I'll wait till everything clears. I've been around the block.
Oh no, it doesn't matter. Dude. Oh my God. Good idea. You're gonna do great, but then there's gonna be some assholes that.
Yeah, fuck them.
Well, that's what you say until you don't have money that you thought you had.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, it's not. No, it's
not. So they pay me the money. I wait 2 to 3 weeks. Make it. All right? Take all the money out of that account so it's empty as shit.
Uh-huh.
Then what?
Then they do a chargeback because it's 180 days on PayPal and most major credit card companies. And they say, well, this wasn't as advertised, blah, blah, chargeback, fucking whatever on PayPal. They usually side with the fucking buyer.
Well, fuck them.
Just warning you.
Yeah,
so this is on record now. This is on record that I'm warning you about this.
Then they could do that. Fuck them.
What the fuck are you doing, Cody?
He wants to go out.
He was just outside. He was just outside.
Well, he wants to be outside again. Yeah, you put 2 extra inches. Well, you told me that's what it needed to be. Get out of here.
All I'm saying is, good luck dealing with reenactors. They're the biggest cunts I've ever fucking dealt with.
Payment in the form of cash. Send it.
Yeah, they're not going to do that.
Well, then they could get bent. How's that sound? I'm the only one that makes it.
Well, then you get bent because you don't make money.
Well, that's fine. I don't want to have like jillion orders either. This is like a thing I'm going to be doing for like a day a week.
Dude, one order will fucking kill you. It'll sink you.
That's fine.
No, it's not.
I'm not doing this as like a business, Mike. I'm not doing this to make a fuck ton of money. I'm doing this.
You literally. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back about 10 minutes. You literally said, "I'm going to do this as a side gig and make a fuck ton of money." Yeah. I'm telling you that it can and will fail when dealing with reenactors.
That's cool. So yeah, so if you guys want to not be assholes and have some stuff made, I take cash. I'll get a PO box. Send it my way. Tell me what you want, what color you want it, give me all your dimensions. Bam.
Cool.
You'll see it in 8 to 10 business years.
Yep.
No, it shouldn't take that long. But I'm gonna make a Gewehr 88 sling. I got all the nice leather. I even got 2 different types of tanned leather, vegetable tan.
Do you
leather.
have it? Oh, you have it. Yeah, you do.
So
I thought you said 98. Yeah, but it's
tanned it myself. And the first method didn't do so hot, so I went the second method for the rest of the strap. She looks really nice. Reblued all the original parts, the hardware. I got original hardware. And just got to put it together now. Stitch it all up real nice. It'll be good.
Hey, Todd, let's not go that route.
Madras Arsenal. That's a joke. I hope that's a joke.
That's what I said. Let's not go that route. Let's just not do that.
I really hope that's a joke.
Well, it is a joke, but like it's I don't even want that fucking shit brought up.
Fair.
So.
Well, I'm not making any shoes. You guys just want a belt where I could just punch some fucking holes in a strap for you. That's about it.
That moment when you're getting a rust off of your Italian M33 and under the rust is Feldgrau paint. No.
That's not a thing.
These people are trying to be funny and like kind of like, oh god. Like it's the whole thing on the internet. Like people are trying to be funny constantly. It's like, well, you're not funny. Like just stop. Like it's fine to not be funny, like at all.
Fair.
I'm not funny. Like I know that. Like that's why I just post shit that looks like, well, some guy said he had a 1939 made or 1939 Remington made Mosin got 9130. I was like, no, you don't.
No, you don't, because they stopped making them in like fucking 1916.
Right. That's why I said no, you don't, and he hasn't.
You could have a 9130 that was built on a fucking receiver, but it's not made by Remington.
Right. And I was just like, no, you don't. Like,
no, I mean, but he might not know that. He might just be one of those dumb fucks who reads the receiver and it says Remington. You know?
Yeah,
like
but
back when I had my 38 carbine, that was on a New England Westinghouse receiver.
Yeah, but you have to take it apart to look at the tang.
No, it had the scroll work across the receiver.
On the receiver.
Yeah.
I thought they just did that shit on like the barrel.
Sometimes. A lot of them when they would get sent from the United States, okay, and then rejected, they'd be sent back to the United States, and then they would be remarked on the receiver that it was rejected and what company it was for, and then they'd send them back in the same box, basically, and for some reason they'd be accepted, because I don't know if you know anything about the World War I Russian procurements. They rejected like everything for the first year.
The French.
Yeah, like literally everything, because they're like, it's out of spec. And then the Russians got so desperate, the Americans sent them the same shit again. And it worked out.
Yeah, but the odds of having an actual Remington marked 9130 refurb?
Pretty slim. Pretty slim.
Very.
I mean, it could happen, but it's not a Remington made 9130. That part was made by Remington and either cut down or recycled. That's it. Why can't I have a favorite president? How come Mike's the only one allowed to have a favorite president?
Well, because you have to have a favorite PM.
Hmm.
You don't know.
Well, my favorite prime minister is Pierre Trudeau. It's Justin's father, the current prime minister's father. So,
my favorite president, Andrew Jackson.
I would tend to agree, except I have a tie between Andrew Jackson and William Henry Harrison.
I don't know much about Harrison, but like
nobody does, because he died like a week into his presidency, which means he's probably the best president. That's why he's like the best president. He got pneumonia for giving the longest fucking inauguration.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, that's what I know about him, like the basic.
So he was like acting president for like 4 days, and then the vice president was filling in, and then for like a month, and he finally died of pneumonia.
Thomas Jefferson's the best president. Well, if you want to go back that far, fucking James Monroe was the best president.
Yeah, James Monroe was actually a really fucking badass president.
Yeah, very humble, very ballsy, very American, I'd say.
He was the guy that didn't they all those like shipping people write that letter to him asking if they could put cannons on their boats because of all the pirates off of the coast of Africa.
I don't remember. It's been a while since I read. I still have his book.
Yeah.
Or the biography written about him, Monroe's Gift. And Yeah, he did some shit. I don't remember if that was the thing, so I'm not gonna say yes or no.
Yeah, I thought it might be all like one of them fucking like fabricated things, but I thought there was like he got a letter one day from these guys that are like, we keep getting attacked by pirates off of Africa. This is back when like, pirates were a big thing in like North Africa and off of West Africa, which is why the Marine Corps got the whole like Tripoli thing when they invaded, was because of pirates actually. So there's a lot of piracy in like the Mediterranean and shit.
I'm sorry. I messed that up. I was trying to say Madison.
James Madison,
Yes. I
not
fucked
James
that up.
Monroe.
Monroe was the president after Madison.
Yes, but one of them, they sent a letter to the president, and they're like, "Yeah, can we put like cannons on our ship to defend us?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, you have the Second Amendment. It's like it's your property. Put whatever the fuck you want on your boat."
Yeah, Monroe did that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and he was like,
Yeah.
You're asking me if you could put your own cannons on your own fucking boat."
Right.
And he's like, "Of course you can, you goddamn idiot."
Yeah. So I totally misspoke. James Madison. But to be fair, like James Madison, James Monroe, like two
Do you
M
know how
names.
many Jameses and shit there was?
The what?
You know how many like Jameses there fucking was as president?
Right, like with an M as a last name. So no, but James Madison was the president during the War of 1812, and he was the guy that wrote off with. Oh man, my history's like it's been so long since I actually like looked at the details, but like the Secretary of State at that point, or Defense, I could be wrong, just whatever. Don't quote me directly. Basically, when Washington was burning, they were like, "Oh fuck, what do we do?" And him and this other guy rode off into the darkness down a fucking road into the country, and they were like, "We got to stop. Like, we're done for the night." And they stopped at like a average person's house on this road. They said, "Hey, we need quarter for the night." Like, and when they found out who he was, they're like, "Oh, you're James Madison.
You're the fucking president.
What are you doing?" So they're sitting around
Yeah.
eating food, and he's getting his ass chewed by a citizen. But he just keeps eating. He's like, we're trying everything. He's trying to like answer this shit, but like, he's the president at this point, and it's like he's getting his ass chewed by a commoner, a plebe like you and I are, and most other people are today. And he just sits there and eats and goes, "We're gonna try. We're trying everything we can. We're gonna try to figure this out. We'll get this done, and whatever." And so they stay the night there, and then they go on the next morning and whatever. And it's just insane to like think about that. That's how it was back then. Like the president of the U.S. went in. They didn't kill him. They didn't hurt him or anything.
No, the thing is that was ruined by Andrew Jackson because he was like the first like filthy commoner to become president.
Right.
And there was a massive rager in the White House, and he had to like jump out of the bathroom window to like escape. And the butler had to go throw a ham and a bunch of bottles of alcohol out on the yard to get all the drunk people out of the White House.
That's.
But I loved how, like, before that, if the president won, like, anybody could just walk into the White House and be like, "Go fuck yourself," and, like, leave.
Right, and that's...
Anybody off the street could go walk up and, like, meet the president because nobody gave a shit, and he hardly affected anyone's lives because unless you were in one of the, like, 8 fucking cities,
right,
you didn't care.
Right, and that's the thing is, like, but at that point... And now I get why there's, like, the Secret Service. There's been a lot of presidents who've been assassinated, like, just straight up, but I think it's gone a little bit too far. It's like, I should be able to request an audience with
the president.
The president. And like, I know it'll take some time, but like, I should be scheduled to like, okay, here's when you're going to meet, whoever's president.
Yeah.
And I should be able to sit down. I should be able to be armed too. This is what I think. This is how extremely American I am. I should be able to have a fucking pistol on my hip, an AR-15 on my back, or, on the front, and be able to sit down and go, "Please explain this policy and what you think about it to me." Even though, like, I know the government, right? Even though I know exactly, even though I know the president's not the king, but like, I should still.
Almost could have been. George Washington ruined it, though.
Well, right, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I should be able to sit down and like do that,
You should have a right to because he's elected by the citizens. But.
Exactly. And I should be able to do that. And he also has a right to live, or whomever is president has the right to live. So there should be security around, but it should still be, we should have a face-to-face conversation like you and I have had, and I've had it with, a lot of my friends and people in general. It's like, we should just be allowed to sit down and do that. And if I'm retarded and I get up and I, go for my gun, well, then yeah, it's like,
yeah,
I would expect that. If I was sitting at a table with somebody and they were discussing shit with me and they reached for a gun, well, I'd expect my friends to jump on them or shoot them,
Yeah, fair.
But like, I think the government should just be on the same level as us, but more accountable.
That's how it's supposed to be. The government is supposed to be subservient to the fucking people, and it's not
exactly. It's not a glorious job. It's not like something you want to get into because you're gonna make millions. It's like, fuck.
But
I'm gonna
money,
get into this job. Yeah, exactly. But and I understand.
America.
Like,
that's what really runs this country, not the president.
No, I know. It's but like, I think but isn't that cool? Like back in Madison's day, like he actually went to a house.
Yeah,
and they didn't kill him.
What's up, dude? I'm gonna sleep here tonight.
But they bitched him out and they chewed his ass.
Yeah,
and he took it. He was like, "Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. I'm
just playing the cards I've been dealt here, lady."
Right. It was pretty much what he told her.
Yeah.
And then it was like they slept there and nobody got killed, nobody got hurt, and it was like, okay, you should be able to like go up to your state or federal congressman or congressperson, I guess, whatever the fuck the politically correct term is. So
I saw my state congressman. He was begging for money on the street corner not too long ago during the campaign. Like literally, he had like a banner and a bunch of like kids, and they were like, "Oh yeah, if you want to like contribute," he's like, "Here's the hat for money." Like, yeah, right in downtown, and I was like, "Oh
fucking
God,
Christ!" No, I just want to go up and I just talk to politicians. Like, I want to just talk to them, be like, dude, I mean, it'd be cool if I carry a gun, and like whatever, just because.
I mean, I understand not being able to carry guns because there's a lot of fucking wackos out there. But.
Right, but like, here's the thing: that's why you have security around you. But here's the thing: is like, so in after Sandy Hook, I remember this distinctly. Rand Paul, which like him or hate him, I don't have really any opinion on him.
He's kind of
Yeah, it's like it's mad, but like he was a fucking representative. He worked in the government. And when all these people like were out, going against the gun control that was proposed and like never happened, which is weird. But they were out there marching and they had AR-15s on their chest. And Rand Paul went up there and he just put his hands in his pockets and
casually talk to people. Yeah,
he was talking to a guy with an AR-15 on his chest, and that guy was talking to him casually.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "Well, yeah, it's
amazing how people act when you treat them human."
Right. People should not want to kill the government officials. That's not good. When
they were ultimately elected, like that's
right. And when you're at that point, it's like when you're at that point where like so what I always say is like the government should be scared of the people and not the other way around. But also the government should be so scared that like they think they're gonna get killed every time they go out without security. But also it's like I know how it's gotten to that point is because it's been an escalation over the years
because they have been killed for just going out in public.
Right. And I don't think that's it's not good for anybody to be that scared of a group of people just because they're a group. You haven't talked to this person. You don't know them. You actually haven't talked to them. And that's with any group.
Politicians should be afraid of anybody. Just like the people shouldn't be afraid of their politicians, and the politicians shouldn't be because ultimately they're all a team that's supposed to be working together.
Right. And when I say afraid, I mean afraid of like they're going to lose their job if they don't do a good job.
I mean that's how it should be. Yeah.
Right. That's what I mean by afraid. I don't mean like if you don't do a good job, we're going to fucking kill you. No, well you're human. Like come on.
Yeah. I mean everyone can.
Let's grow up. Like. Oh, everybody does fuck up. Not can.
Does George Washington have a descendant left?
Who knows?
I mean, because if he does, we should just make him king and call this done. Because he's probably an average fucking Joe now. Just throw that fucker up there.
I mean, but it's. I don't know. So the thing is, like a couple of the content creators that I watch, they said, and I agree, like we were talking about this in person and online, like the easiest way right now, or not the easiest way, the best way, because the federal level is so fucked, it's so corrupt with so much money. There's so much shit going on there.
Bloated, and it's a bloated, rotting corpse of what.
But you and I can both run for our local positions.
They'd be cool. I actually I know a shit ton of people in my community. I do so much. I probably could run and actually win.
Well, you should.
So I don't have time for that shit.
That's what everybody says. That's the fucking excuse.
I barely have time to piss during the day.
You've got time.
I mean, I could probably make time because I could probably quit what I'm doing now because I'm like, well, I'm fucking running a county.
No, you're not going to get paid that much.
Yeah, I think it's only like $120,000 a year if I did.
No, it's not that much.
If I went to go work for the second largest fucking populated county in the state,
you're not going to get county right off. I'm talking run for the village board or the council of St. Cloud.
I don't have a village board. I could run for city council, and that's $120,000 a year. Here in St. Cloud,
really?
Yeah, it's $120,000 a year.
That's way ridiculously overpaid.
Yeah, there's 9 of those fuckers too.
So run for it and decrease your fucking pay.
That's literally what I said. I'm like, I'll do it for half price.
No, but like when you're in there, like fucking make the motion to decrease the pay. Like
we don't need that money, but. Yeah, it was like absurd because I thought about it. Because people are like, hey, you should run for city council.
Then do it.
I should.
I'm going to run next year.
I should just run for city council.
Yes. So, that's where it starts, man. Like, we got to get this old, like, the way it is kind of crowd out.
Well, half my city council is like 70-year-old people. And
again, you're not making valid excuses. You're just giving me reasons to why you should run.
There's somebody on our city council that's literally 19. Like,
well, again, that's not exactly good.
So, there's a lot of
but that also means that you could fucking win easily.
Fair. I could. I know stuff about America.
Right. And the thing is, like, I think the only office like you have to be born here is like the president, right?
And the vice president.
Okay, so why not get in there and fucking do some good?
I mean, that would be the ultimate goal. I could probably try to do something to at least stir the pot.
And if you run and you hate it and it doesn't work out,
I could always resign. Yeah,
you could always resign or just not run again. Like,
that's fair.
I mean, dude,
I think this is a good time.
Dude, this is now or never. Like, people need to start running and taking over these local governments, or else it's just going to get worse. Like, it's
there's a lot of like really liberal people here on our city council too, which is unfortunate because it's all the people in the city that make the vote.
And out here, it's like you got a lot of like partisan Democrats, partisan Republicans. I'm going to run independent.
Yeah,
because I'm not either or. Like, I think parties are retarded.
Yeah,
and so when I'm going to run, it's going to be, well, I'm independent. Like, we'll talk about. You asked me a question, like we talk about what I think about a certain
and I'll vote based on what the most people want.
Right. So, and that's the thing is like
how it's supposed to be.
And people don't realize that, like, if I were elected by a bunch of Republicans, I'd talk to them and be like, well,
I don't really see eye to eye on that, but I understand where you're coming from.
Right. And I try to talk to him and be like, well, you elected me. Okay. Or if I was elected by a bunch of Democrats, I'd still try and talk to them and be like, well, hear me out on this. Yep. Same thing. But it's like, that's what you're elected to do. And like, well, that's not always the best. Yes, it is. Because then we elect this policy into place, or, this tax, or this levy, or whatever. And then you figure out, oh, that's fucked up because it affects me. Oh, well, then maybe you need to change your fucking views and learn more about the government. And then we'll go from there. Like, people have to fuck up. That's part of a republic.
Yeah.
People have to fuck up. And the majority rules thing with, introducing democracy intermingled with a republic, as a method of electing officials, not a direct democracy. It's an indirect, it's a representative democracy. I get that.
We're a republic.
But doing that is, at some point you got to go, okay, let's do this.
Yep, we got it.
Just like your dumb friend that's making a decision like, hey, dude, we shouldn't go down this road. We should go down that road. Like, because this road's going to be fun. No, we're going down this road. Why? Because I think it's going to be cool. It's going to be, well, but here, let me explain to you why that might not be a good idea. Okay, but I still want to go down that road. And you're like, but I want to go down that road that I know is going to be a little bit better for all of us.
Yep.
Nope, let's go down this road. Okay. You know what? Fuck it. Let's go down that road. And then you go down that road, you get banged up, you go into a rollover, you're stranded out there for fucking days.
Fair.
And then the guy goes, or whoever's driving goes, God, I wish I would have listened to you. Well, there you go.
I just wanted to be, I always thought, I'm like, well, I want to get elected just to be that one guy that, like, every time they do something, I can just be like, why?
Right.
Why? Well, it's like, because, it's going to be like a phone book of, like, everything they try to pass, like a phone book. Why does there need to be a phone book? What else is in here? We're trying to pay for a turn lane. Why isn't there just one sentence that says, let's pay for a fucking turn lane?
That is the biggest thing that pisses me off about government spending. Like, okay, if you want to tax the people, use their tax dollars to give them something that is going to benefit the people,
they all should be able to understand it.
And that's fine. I get how that works. I'm not like all taxes are fucked up. I understand a little bit of how it works.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I've got nothing with paying taxes as long as I know what they're going for and it's not something stupid.
And you benefit. Like, if you give me money to buy a service off of me, say, well, I'm going to clean your apartment, okay? If you pay me money,
yes.
What do you expect?
A clean apartment.
Right. So what if I say, okay, well, it's going to be $500 to clean your apartment. Just go with me on this.
Okay.
And I'll do this, this, and this. And you're like, well, why is that $500? And I go, because of it's gonna be better. Like, it's just gonna be like the right way, and it costs a lot. Inflation, blah blah blah.
Yeah, we got to have somebody come in and survey, and we got to have these kind of tests done, and we got to make sure the air quality is fine, and the wetlands aren't going to be hurt.
Even still, realistically, that'll cost $200, right?
Yeah.
But I'm charging you $5. Well, what's the other $3 for? Oh, it's
in my time.
Get a park manicured and have somebody's name that's on the board at that time put on there because they saw it fit to put their name on it because they made this happen. It's a legacy thing. And it's like, everybody wants their legacy. It's like, when you die, nobody's going to fucking care about who you were.
I was like, I don't want anybody to remember the shit I did. I just want them to know that their taxes went down for a year or two.
Right. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's pork barrel. It's just fucking retarded shit. It's so unnecessary. Like, if I were to do that, it'd be called fraud.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah, exactly. Or they're writing a ton of other shit in there, like that is just in the back of this, tacked onto it to get funds for other stuff, or to.
Well, it's pork. That's what pork barrel spending is. It's like
you're not just trying to be convoluted. They're literally just trying to get more fucking shit passed in one go because it's less work.
Right, and it's because of a lot of self-serving reasons. And it's like, if I were to be in the government, I'd be like, well, what do the people need and what do they want and what can we afford? And like, I get that there's a budget constraint and all that shit. Like, okay, you have to make decisions on like who gets what.
Yeah.
But when we pass the budget, it's like, okay, here's what it's going to cost. We'll have a meeting. There's not going to be a follow-up meeting going, well, we fucked up on the estimated cost of that. So now your property tax is going to go up 54.5% this year. It's only a levy though. It's only for this year, and we'll get rid of it at the end of the year because it never.
No, the government doesn't ever fucking.
Nope.
Get rid of shit like that.
No, that's a huge. And here's Anyway, I'm getting.
At least my city and my state hasn't done that, but they do keep.
Oh, raising, they have.
Yeah. Well, they keep doing it for a different reason. They keep raising all my stuff.
You don't pay property taxes. Your landlord does.
It's factored into my rent.
Kind of, but like your landlord pays property taxes. So like,
yeah,
and they can only raise your rent a certain amount
to pay for that. Yeah,
they can only raise it a certain amount. Okay, so if the city decides that they're gonna do a 54% levy on the landlord, they're only allowed to raise your rent a certain amount because of other laws and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It gets that convoluted, and like, so they're fucked. And like, what do? They take a loss, and that's why you didn't get proper AC and all that shit for years. It's because that's what was happening.
Fair. Well, they do that because we got to pay for all these refugees who don't pay for rent and don't pay for stuff.
They do pay. When they buy things, they pay sales tax.
Oh, whatever, the like fucking 7% or whatever,
Yeah, but when your budget is fucking billions in Minnesota, more than what you're actually taking in, well, let's look at some of the shit to cut.
Yeah. Well, so, I mean, we need to cut a lot of stuff. I was real pissed. Like, pre-COVID, America had a $2 billion with a B surplus.
Yeah, you know that was to our national debt. You see this little flake of dandruff?
Yeah,
sprinkling. $2 billion is nothing.
Yeah, but now as of end of COVID, so end of 2020.
Yeah, we've got almost like fucking 8 trillion more spent.
Yeah.
So that 2 billion, like, oh, it sounds good.
Yeah, but like that was just the state surplus.
Oh, the state surplus. Okay.
Yeah, just the state surplus was $2 billion.
Well, that's weird because like Jesse Ventura, if I remember correctly, they had a similar surplus. It was like 1 billion or some shit.
Yeah, it was a lot.
And then he sent checks to everybody who had paid in for that because they don't need a surplus.
Exactly. But no, we had at the beginning of 2020, Tim Walz is like, we have a $2 billion surplus. And now
I do remember that. I thought you meant the nation.
No.
Because you didn't say. You said we, and I assumed the U.S.
Yeah, no. State surplus of $2 billion. And now we have a state surplus of negative $2.5 billion. So over the course of 2020, we spent $4.5 billion.
Oh yeah, and it's just begun because the rebuilding process with insurance and everything, that's fine, but like you've got a fixed amount. Like, are you really going to take that fixed amount and just rebuild what you had? Barely.
No, we're going to make it better.
Right.
We got to make it better.
We always have to make it better. We're America. Woo! And that's kind of shit. That's like, I mean, it's so fucking convoluted and corrupt. It's when it does collapse, and I'm not Peter Schiff, so I'm not like, it's coming tomorrow. Fuck, we're here. It'll take a bit.
It's gonna be till at least Tuesday.
Right.
Any day now. Any day now.
But you know what I mean? Like when it does collapse, though, it's gonna be fucking probably the biggest collapse that the world has
look at
ever
where
seen.
the United States is. Like everyone thinks that the United States is too big to go down, but like remember Rome was also considered too big to fail
3 times.
Yeah. So
you know what I mean? Like, but here's the thing: is like it's so fucking. But do you know who holds the burden of the American debt?
Most of the people. It's usually the citizens.
Taxpayers, yes.
Yeah,
you're correct.
Like
a lot of people are
holding believing that held by the taxpayers.
Oh, it's 90. It's like 90 or 95.
So yeah, it's a lot.
It's insane. There's like, and it's more now, or I'm sorry, less now, but like more debt now, but like less percentage. Everybody's like, oh, China owes us, and it's like, well, they've got about 2 trillion into it.
Yeah, they don't owe us that much. Most of the U.S. debt is owed to its own people.
And paid for by its own people.
Fair. Which is why I don't know why when they were giving us all that surpluses, how come the debt didn't go down?
Well, because they
gave all of our money back. Because
they give you your money back, and they're gonna charge you interest on that money that you already paid in, that they gave to you,
and you already owe me.
Right, but they're gonna charge you interest because they're gonna raise inflation, all that shit, like. So that whatever is it, like $2,500 or some shit that people got last year.
Something
you'll pay that back, and you'll pay it back for that $2,500 that you got. You'll end up paying about $5,000 in your lifetime.
I don't want to do that though.
Right, because that doesn't make sense.
My money,
right?
anyways. You know how much
I gotta pee really bad. I have to pee really bad. I'm sorry. It's fucking. I can't.
That's all right. I get it.
Yeah, go lay down.
All right. Somebody was asking what my uniform was. All right. My uniform. Get ready for this. 1950s. Just American, regular old uniform. Anybody could have this, from a lowly private to an officer. It's just a Ridgeway cap and your regular old sateen fatigues. So that's all I got. Thank you. It's an all right uniform. It's very comfortable. So that there's very no thrills on it, which I like. Pockets are just simple squares. Buttons are big. Easy to sew on. Collar lays flat, made out of a nice material. So it works out quite well. And then this hat, I'm really glad I found one in my size. The Ridgeway caps are getting kind of hard to find. It looks Cuban. There's a good reason for that. It is because that Fidel Castro actually has an American-made Ridgeway cap. This exact hat, an American-made Ridgeway cap, made in Louisville, Kentucky, is the same hat that Fidel Castro wears. So, literally the same hat. I think I actually even wear the same size as he does. So. Welcome back.
Yep.
I thought you were gonna. I thought you fell in. I was gonna call the Coast Guard.
Good luck. Like, even if fucking chopper's gonna take fucking 4 hours to get here. So.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, they need the action, though. I mean, that's who you call when somebody like falls in the toilet, right? Is the Coast Guard?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. I want somebody to do that now, like fall in their bathtub. And I have to call the Coast Guard because they're technically the only ones that have the rights to operate in intercoastal waters.
Jesus Christ. You're thinking about this shit way too hard. You need a fucking life.
It's just one of them things, like those food for thoughts, like when you can't sleep late at night and you're just staring at the ceiling and you're like, I wonder. Because you're like, technically, if you fell in the bathtub, the Coast Guard are legally the only ones allowed to save you because they are the only ones that have jurisdiction to operate in intercoastal waters.
Okay, well, how about this? Here's one to stop you from sleeping tonight. Why didn't Tarzan have a beard?
That's fair. It's really weird. I mean, to be fair, I know a lot of people that are like 30 that can't grow a beard.
Shut your fucking mouth, but hey.
You can grow a beard just fine. It just looks horrible.
I cannot grow a beard. It gets... Dude, so I had an ingrown hair, like, from probably this winter, and it finally popped out, and I grabbed it, and it was only like a fucking 1/4 inch long.
Ooh. That's like a week.
Yeah.
Do that in like a week.
Yeah, so, no, I cannot grow a beard.
Yeah, but it's weird that Tarzan was always clean shaven.
Right, very, very clean shaven. Like, I get scruff, and it does not look good. But you can tell there's shit there, It's like, there's shit there. Like, Tarzan. I mean,
I just shaved today, and you could tell that I have hair.
Yeah, congratulations.
Like my shadow's pretty rough. Yeah,
congratulations.
Already. So, but yeah, have you ever watched those like Disney conspiracy theories where they're all like all the movies are all tied together by little details that you could see by watching them all?
No, they're all political messages.
I mean that too, but like I saw things. It's like you could literally tie every Disney movie to each other in some way. Like Tarzan turns out was actually like Anna and Elsa's like long lost like brother or something like that, or cousin or something like that. Yeah, it's like, no, like really, there's a thing, and they're all tied together because you could tell because they have a picture in the movie Frozen that is on the fucking ship that had Tarzan in it when it was stranded.
Yeah.
There's the same picture in there.
Well,
and stuff like that. And it's all like tied together.
This is why we need to bring road prisons back. Like, people have way too much time on their fucking hands. Like, go to a road prison. Like, fuck up, go to a road prison, build some roads, tar and fucking gravel them.
I got an even better solution. Have you tried drugs, kids?
Well, that's how you get to prison.
Yeah, I mean, but like at least they can enjoy it for a little while.
Yeah, they can have fun for a period of time, and then they go to prison, and then they're fucking tarring and fucking graveling roads in Florida. And
Yeah. Oh, Florida. That'd be the worst place to be doing road
dude,
construction.
have you seen Cool
Florida.
Hand Luke?
Yeah. It's a great movie.
I've actually drove past the actual road prison. It's defunct now, but like I drove past the actual. My uncle's like,
is it still open as like a tourist attraction?
No,
Because
no,
it's
it's
like,
grown.
this is
It's
where Kool-Aid Luke was.
Nope, no, it's grown over. It's like, but it's like a shitty place in the fucking Glades. Like it's not good. It's fucking because my uncle lives outside of Naples, but it's like that prison is like really kind of linear to Naples. Like,
Yeah.
oh, so Naples is fucking hot. It's really hot.
Yeah, but it's way down there, so.
And so yeah, we were out there, and he's like, we're driving. He goes, that's where they filmed Cool Hand Luke. You know, my uncle's got like the good old Southern boy, even though he's from Wisconsin, but he's lived there for so long. He's
lived there for so long. He's like developed that accent.
Yeah. He's like, that's where they filmed Cool Hand Luke, and I was like, I don't know what that is. And then later on, I looked at it really good, and I'm like, okay, cool. And
so then you're watching the movie, and you're like, holy shit, I was there.
Well, no, they filmed it in California.
Yeah, but like,
but the sweat, like, you know, it's like, you know, they're always sweating profusely.
Well, yeah, it's Florida. That's just everybody. There's a guy sitting at a bar in the air conditioning sweating like that.
Yeah, Florida's not good in the summer.
Florida. To be fair, Florida sucks in January. Florida just sucks in general. It's Florida.
No, I mean,
it's the sweaty, rotten, mold-infested dick of North America.
No,
it is.
I appreciate it for what it is, because like I get to see a bunch of.
I do. I appreciate it for all the cool news stories we get every year. So
no, dude. I got to see some of the biggest gators in my life, wild, not in captivity, in Florida. My uncle's like, "Oh yeah, that's a good one." Pulls over. You can see the road like underneath like his floorboards because they're rusted out and shit. And he's got algae on the side of his truck from spitting fucking Redman Silver Blend out the fucking, you know. He's got algae growing in his truck. Like, my uncle's a fucking redneck. And so he pulls over, and we go, and he's like, yeah, take a look at that son of a bitch right down there. And I sound exactly like him. Ask my parents and, like, everybody that's known him. He goes, take a look at that son of a bitch right down there. Yep. Look at that. That's got to be at least a 16-footer. And I'm like, oh, yeah, it is. That's fucking huge. Like,
go touch it.
No. I mean, there's a fence, like, on the road.
Oh,
on the highway.
That's no fun.
Well, on the highway is to protect everybody.
It's Florida. I mean, I suppose hitting a fucking alligator going down at highway speed would be like hitting a speed bump, you know?
Oh, well, no, gators are dense. Like,
yeah, they definitely jack a vehicle up. That's
it's not good if you hit, especially in like a fucking Prius or a fucking thing. Like, you know, I drive the car. It's like, even in my Jeep, like, it wouldn't be good. Like,
no, yeah,
I'd flip it. It would flip over, and I'd be like fucked. And it's like, well, can I get the tail to make some fucking fried gator bits or what? No, you have to go to the ICU. Oh, okay. You know,
yeah, I don't like Florida. Been there a few times. Didn't have a good experience for like any of it. I mean, it's great when I could go sit and I could walk down the beach, and I hate the beach because the ocean stinks like shit. It does, unfortunately. Sorry. Right, to everybody that lives by the ocean, it smells. I don't care what ocean it is.
It smells. You get used to it, but like, no, when I go to Florida, I usually we hit up the beach, you know, of course, on the West Coast, you know, the Gulf side, and then we go out to my uncle's place, and it's dirty, but like it's good.
Yeah.
But he takes us out to like Everglades City. It's a great place. They have good food there. Oh my God.
Yeah, like that's the best thing about Florida. I could go anywhere I want. I am 4 minutes away. A 4-minute walk away from some place that has awesome cheap food and really cheap drinks.
Yeah, it's Florida. But like out in the Everglades, like their food is like, we ordered. Went to this place. It was like basically a fucking screen porch, right? It was just screened in.
Yeah, there's a lot of places like that. Yeah, and they just have fans, no air conditioning or anything.
Right, fans, and so but it's also by a brackish river, so they get like seafood that's brackish. And so it's like half saltwater, half not.
That's kind of good though. A lot of those brackish fish are actually better. Yeah.
My God, that's the best fish. I don't like freshwater fish. I just don't. I never have. Like if I'm starving, yeah, I'll eat it. But like saltwater fish is what I go to, and it's like some of that's even like brackish seafood in general. I have no complaints. It's but like we go there and we order like fucking gator bits, which they actually have real gator bits. It's the tail meat. It's really good. We order fucking this, that, the other thing, and it's like for the whole table of like 6 people, it's like $60.
Yeah.
You know, it's like not that much money at all.
Like fucking expensive. Like up here, that'd be like a $250 meal.
Right. And so we go down there. It's so good. It's prepared great. The seasoning is, but it's like redneck food, but it's so fucking good. It's amazing.
I remember sitting in a restaurant and it was like late at night. I'm sitting there smoking and drinking, and I'm against the wall, and there's all these fucking cockroaches that keep running up the wall. And I keep them with my cigarette while I'm waiting for my food to come because they're running up the wall, and I'm just like, and I'm burning these cockroaches because they're the big fuckers down there.
Oh yeah,
running up the wall. And everyone's like, "Oh yeah, everywhere just has them." I'm like, "You guys got like a cockroach problem?" He's like, "Everywhere does. It's Florida."
Dude, that's the thing that it's like I would never live down there because Mikey doesn't do bugs.
Yeah, I could tell. Like when that hasn't come out yet. Did you edit that one out? In that one video we shot?
I don't know.
Like, dude, there's a huge gangly fucking bug on your shoulder, and I'm like, it's fine.
I don't know if I edited that out. Even if I didn't, like, well, I don't know if I've gotten that far yet, but like it's I don't do bugs, and like cockroaches to me, the way they move and the way they sound, and
they like skitter and stuff, and they got the feelers always going.
I don't like cockroaches and like any bugs. But anyway, I like visiting down there, and like I get scared of bugs at first, and I get used to it because I'm like, well,
they're here.
I spent some time in Georgia.
Yeah.
Like a prolonged time where it was like I had a banana spider on my face when I was sleeping one night in the middle of the night, and I was like, what do I do? What do I do? And I just let it crawl, and then I just went and then freaked out.
Yep.
But
no, I don't mind the bugs. I'm not afraid of the bugs or snakes or anything like that.
What are you afraid of then?
Wendigos.
Well, they don't exist in Florida.
Oh, well, fuck, I need to move to Florida then.
The skunk ape does, though.
Oh, I don't know what that is, but it doesn't sound that great.
It's their version of the Sasquatch.
Oh. I don't think I'm afraid of that. But
cockroaches are not good.
Everyone's like, oh, snakes and stuff. I'm like, oh, no, snakes are easy as long as you know how you do them. You get them by the tail, and you can just spin them, because then the centrifugal force, they can't come back, so you just keep spinning. You just yeet those fuckers.
Well, snakes don't, I mean, they bother me, but not as bad as bugs. Like, because snakes, I'm like...
Snakes you can just like avoid. Bugs are everywhere.
Right. And bugs, they'll go after you. Like snakes, most of them just like, get the fuck away from me.
They just want to do their own thing. Yeah.
Yep. And the one time, my better half and I were walking up at a park nearby, which we have to take you to that. Like we talked about it, but like we got to go there next time you come down. And we're on the like end of this trail, and there's this giant piece of trap rock that's like in a clearing in the woods. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, there is a fucking, because we have rattlesnakes up here on the bluffs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and this thing is like, it's stretched out because it's sunning itself.
Yeah.
But like this thing was like 16, 17 feet long, sprawled out.
Man,
and I'm like,
you should have definitely went to pick that fucker up. The DNR would have loved to see that.
Well, it was last year.
Oh,
nobody was there.
Just grabbed it and stuffed it into a pillowcase or something.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. But
yeah, I don't think I have any like real fears of. I mean, obviously, I don't want to get sprayed by like a skunk or anything.
Well, no, it's funny. We were out shooting those helmets. Like, remember that? I'm like, you smell that? You're like, yeah.
I was like, yeah, there's something out here.
It's
definitely
out there
on the prowl. He was out and about.
Yeah, probably took a fucking like a hefty piss. Yeah. But yeah, it's
No, I don't think I have any like real like rational fears, I guess.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like I do, and Bugs are mostly it, and then
Oh, they're so crunchy though.
by the way, if somebody ever fucks with me with bugs, I get them back, and I get them back.
Well,
15
now that
times
you brought it up, Mike, people are just going to be sending you fucking boxes of bugs and shit like that. Like,
no, if you do
you know
that,
how many goddamn cicadas there are around right now? Somebody's going to ship you a whole fucking box of cicadas.
Well, dude, when I was in fucking Ben, when I was at Benning, like, there was this weird thing that went on for a bit in basic where I either lost or people stole my helmet pads for the ACH,
and
I was down to 3 at one point.
That sounds awful to wear an ACH with.
Oh, it was bad. It was not fun. And anyway, one time we were doing a lane where we were crawling, and and I sat down and I was like so tired. I put my head down, and then I hear like this. I thought it was like something like rustling beside me, but it was like right underneath me. And a fucking cicada came up out of the ground, went into my helmet, and was buzzing around and like.
Did you piss yourself?
I screamed like a bitch.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. There's been times like, definitely, yeah. Stuff catches you off guard. I wouldn't say like afraid, but stuff's definitely caught me off guard. And I'm like, I let out like those screams where like you scream so hard you get like a squeak.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was the visceral, like actual, like terrified scream.
Yeah, like you could definitely tell you tore some vocal cords trying to do it.
And I got up and I threw my fucking ACH off, and the thing was like, and it flew away. And I was like, fuck this, fuck this, fuck this. Why am I here? This is fucking retarded. Like, this is dumb. And I was like,
well, you signed up for it, Mike. You should have ate it. That's free protein. That's good energy right there.
Well, it flew away. But like, they were like, get the fuck down, shut the fuck up.
Why is your helmet off? That would have been the first thing we would have been asked. Somebody would have stomped.
Well, I was going for.
Why the fuck is your helmet off?
I was going for my helmet, and they're just like, shut the fuck up, get the fuck down, face out, and pull security.
Dude, like, if somebody took their helmet off on like an exercise, that's just like bad news for everybody. You can't do that.
That's all they've got in the Canadian Army. Like, that's the Canadian Army. Like,
well, that's like the only good piece of equipment they give us, and it's not even that great.
Do cicadas bite? I don't know, but it felt like it was biting.
No, they don't bite.
But it was probably like just attaching onto my head and like trying to jump and like fly.
No, cicadas don't eat. They don't bite. They don't shit. They don't piss. They don't do anything. They crawl out of the ground for like a day to fuck, and then they die.
Well, no, they don't die because they buzz constantly.
Yeah, but they're not around for like that long because they have one purpose once they get out of the ground, and it's to fuck and then die.
Well, okay.
And they spend most of their time kind of dormant as little grubs underground. 17 years or something like that. What's the cycle? That's like 17 years they spend as like as a grub underground.
Yeah, it's they're not good though. Like
they're super important to the ecosystem. Apparently, that's what everyone was trying to tell me.
The ecosystem.
And I'm like, I don't know if there's some cities that are literally getting snowplows out to push this many fucking bugs off the road. Like,
yeah, it's not
that's
good.
probably too many fucking bugs.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go probably cook some supper.
Fair.
I've got chicken marinating right now. So.
What kind of chicken? What are you making?
American Mall teriyaki chicken.
I
bought some dark soy sauce so I can actually make it right.
There you go.
It's from Japan. It's awesome and it's really strong. I love soy sauce. Like I just like take a snap of it and like swish it around my mouth.
Well, yeah, you got to taste all your ingredients.
But like I tried that and I was like, it's basically like you're cooking with wine with like regular soy sauce.
Yeah.
Dark soy sauce because it's aged so much longer and it's so much more deep. It was like taking a snap of fucking like liquor, and I'm like,
ooh.
It's really good though. Like it's so rich.
Yeah.
Are we serious? Like Anthony, don't be a fucking retard. Don't do this.
We're just late. That ship sailed, Mike.
You say one more dumb thing, you're gone. Like
you already asked to see your feet twice.
Yeah, it's grow up. How about that?
No, Kong. Cicadas are dumb as shit. Get out of here.
Yeah, they're not good.
It's a bunch of bugs. They're crunchy though. That's what I hear. I always kind of liked eating bugs. I don't know why. They taste like what they eat. So like you get some of those bugs that like are like parasitic and they eat like fruit trees and stuff. They taste pretty good. And I guess a banana slug, which is like those really big fucking gnarly fuckers, you know? They taste like bubblegum apparently. And they're also like the texture of bubblegum, like chewed bubblegum.
Cool. I'll take your word for it.
So I also found out the banana's not a fruit recently. It's a berry.
Yes.
I didn't know that. Apparently it's a berry.
All right. Well, in the live stream, we'll give this guy the benefit of the fucking doubt.
Oh, there's two of them. Look at that.
All right.
Oh, and Golden's here. Look at that.
Yes. Was versus 762 going? 762 by what?
762 by 8. How's that going?
About 350.
350? Okay, that's a really good deal. You'll have to hook me up with some of that, Mike.
Right.
So
Just if you're gonna troll, just make it entertaining and like good. All right. We'll just end it. Like it's not doing anything wrong. It's just fucking unoriginal and like childish.
fair. Well, we're over an hour anyways, and I gotta get to bed soon.
I appreciate good trolling, but like fucking Christ, like it's just so unoriginal and so fucking not funny. Honest question, yeah, 762 by what? Go do some research on the different 762s.
Yeah, Google could help you a lot faster than Mike could for sure.
Yeah,
that's one of those questions where Google could definitely. Google's definitely your best friend.
Right. So, all right, later.